Jake Morrison stood at the big window of the spaceship. He watched the Earth spin slowly below them. The blue and green planet looked peaceful from up here. But Jake knew his 3 alien friends were not feeling peaceful at all. The ship was. Called New Frontier. It was flying around Earth so the aliens could study humans. Jake was there to help them understand his people. But right now, the aliens looked very worried. Zek-7 was the first alien. He looked like a walking crystal. When he got upset, his body turned orange. Right now, he was very orange. His voice sounded like music when he talked. "Commander Morrison," Zek-7 said. His crystal body was flashing orange lights. "We need to talk about these animals you call grizzly bears. Our computers show they are very dangerous. They can run faster than most humans. They have long claws. They weigh as much as 6 humans put together." Jake smiled. He had been waiting for this talk. Yes, that's all true. Grizzly bears are big and strong. The second alien was called Visas. He looked like a giant lizard that walked on 2 legs. His scales changed color when he felt different things. Right now, his scales were dark red. That meant he was scared. "These bears can kill humans easily," Visas said. His voice made a hissing sound. "One hit from their claws, and a human would die. But our studies show humans go into bear areas on purpose. They do this for fun. How can this be?" The third alien was the strangest of all. Wisp looked like a cloud of gas that floated in the air. He talked by making sounds like wind. When he got excited, the sounds got louder. "This makes no sense," Wisp said. His voice sounded like air moving through trees. "On our worlds, when we find dangerous animals, we kill them or stay far away. But humans walk right into bear territory. They bring their children. They sleep in small tents. How do they not all die?" Dr. Vera Collins walked over to join them. She was the smartest human scientist on the ship. She studied animals and how they lived. Vera had short brown hair and kind eyes. "The bears don't want to hurt us," Vera said. "Most of the time, they try to avoid humans too." Zek-7's orange light got brighter. "But the numbers don't make sense. Millions of humans go into bear areas every year. Our computers say thousands should die. But only a few humans get hurt by bears each year. How is this possible?" Jake looked at his alien friends. They were all very smart. But they came from worlds where things were different. On their planets, when 2 dangerous species met, one had to win and one had to lose. The idea of living together peacefully was new to them. "Let me tell you about my friend Danny," Jake said. "He's a park ranger. That means he takes care of wild places where bears live. Danny has seen hundreds of bears. He's never been hurt by one. Tice's scales turned yellow. Yellow meant he was confused. How does this Danny stay alive? Does he carry powerful weapons? Does he wear strong armor? No, Jake said. Danny carries pepper spray. That's a small can that shoots out spicy liquid. It won't kill a bear, but it will make the bear go away. Most of the time, Danny doesn't even need to use it." Wisp floated closer. His gas cloud swirled faster. "This is impossible. A small can of spicy liquid stops a giant predator?" Vera laughed. "It's not really about the pepper spray. It's about understanding. Danny knows how bears think. He knows how they act. When he sees a bear, he doesn't run away screaming. He doesn't try to fight it. He just stays calm and gives the bear space to leave." The aliens looked at each other. On Zek-7's home world, crystal beings lived in cities under the ground. They never had to deal with dangerous animals. Dizes came from a desert planet where his people were the only big predators. Wisp's people lived in the clouds of a gas giant. They had never even seen land animals. "You're saying this Danny talks to the bears?" Dizes asked. "In a way, yes," Jake said. Bears are smart. They understand body language. If Danny acts scared or angry, the bear might get scared or angry too. If Danny stays calm, the bear usually stays calm. Zek7's light changed from orange to blue. Blue meant he was thinking hard. So humans and bears have developed a communication system? Sort of, Vera said. It's more like mutual respect. The bears know humans can be dangerous too. We have tools and weapons. We work together in groups. Bears don't want to fight us unless they have to. Wisp made a sound like wind through a canyon. But why do humans go into bear ears at all? Why not just stay in your cities where it's safe? Jake smiled. Because the wild places are beautiful. They make us feel good. Many humans feel happier and more peaceful when they're in nature. Even if there's some danger, we think it's worth it. The aliens were quiet for a long time. They were trying to understand something that seemed impossible to them. How could two species that could kill each other choose to live together instead? There's more to it, Vera said. Bears are important for the environment. They help plants grow by spreading seeds. They keep other animal populations healthy. If we killed all the bears, many other things would go wrong. Tice's scales turned green. Green meant he was interested. So humans protect bears even though bears are dangerous? Yes. Jake said, we've learned that living with bears makes our world better. The places where bears live are clean and healthy. The air is fresh. The water is pure. Bears are like a sign that tells us the environment is good. Zek7's crystal body started flashing different colors. He was processing a lot of new information. Humans choose to accept risk in order to maintain environmental balance? That's one way to look at it, Vera said. But it's not really that risky if you know what you're doing. More humans die from bee stings than bear attacks every year. Wisp swirled excitedly. We must study this further. This coexistence between dangerous species is unlike anything in our databases. Jake nodded. I think you'll find it's more common than you think. Humans live alongside many dangerous animals. Sharks in the ocean, wolves in the forests, venomous, snakes in the deserts. We've learned to share our world. The aliens looked at each other again. They were starting to understand that humans might be very different from other species they had studied. Most species fought for territory. Most species tried to eliminate threats. But humans had found another way. Tomorrow, Jake said, I'll show you some recordings from people who live and work with bears. You'll see how it really works. As the new frontier continued to orbit Earth, the three aliens spent the night thinking about what they had learned. They had come to study human survival techniques, but they were starting to discover something much more interesting. They were learning about a different way of living in the world. The next morning, Jake found his alien friends in the ship's computer room. They had been watching videos of bear attacks all night. The room was filled with worried sounds. Zek7 was bright orange again. Theirs had dark red scales. Wisp was swirling like a storm cloud. These videos are terrifying, Zek7 said. His crystal body was flashing. Bears destroying campsites. Bears chasing humans. Bears breaking into houses. The attacks look so violent, Thizes added. His scales were almost black now. The bears are so fast and strong. How does any human survive? Jake sat down next to them. You're watching the worst cases. Those are rare. It's like watching only videos of car crashes and thinking all driving is dangerous. Vera joined them with a cup of coffee. How many bear attack videos did you find? She asked. 47, Wisp said. His voice sounded like wind in a thunderstorm. Each one shows the incredible power of these creatures. And how many videos of peaceful bear encounters did you find? Vera asked. The aliens looked at each other. We did not search for those, Zek7 admitted. Let me show you something different, Jake said. He touched the computer screen. A new video started playing. It showed a man in a green uniform walking through a forest. This is Danny Murphy, Jake said. He's the park ranger I told you about yesterday. Watch what happens. In the video, Danny was walking on a trail. He was making noise as he walked. He was talking to himself and clapping his hands. The aliens watched carefully. Why is he making so much noise? Dizes asked. Won't that attract the bears? That's exactly the point, Vera said. Danny is letting the bears know he's coming. Bears don't like surprises. If they hear Danny coming, they can move away before he gets close. Suddenly, a large brown shape appeared on the trail ahead. It was a huge grizzly bear. The aliens all made scared sounds, but Danny didn't run. He didn't scream. He just stopped walking. The bear looked at Danny. Danny looked at the bear. They stared at each other for a long moment. Why isn't he running? Wisp asked. His gas cloud was spinning fast. Running would be the worst thing to do, Jake said. Bears are much faster than humans. If Danny runs, the bear might chase him. Bears sometimes chase things that run. In the video, Danny slowly made himself look bigger. He raised his arms up high. He stood up tall. He spoke to the bear in a calm, loud voice. Hey, bear, Danny said. I'm just passing through. I don't want any trouble. The bear tilted its head. It seemed to be listening. Then it made a huffing sound and walked off the trail into the trees. Danny waited until the bear was gone. Then he continued walking. The whole encounter lasted less than 2 minutes. That's it? Zek7 asked. His orange light was fading to yellow. No fighting? No weapons? No running? That's how most bear encounters go, Vera said. The bear and the human see each other. They both decide they don't want to fight. They go their separate ways. Jake started another video. This one showed a woman with a camera. She was sitting very still in some bush. About 50 feet away, a mother bear was playing with 2 baby bears. This is Amy Roberts, Jake said. She's a wildlife photographer. She takes pictures of bears for magazines and books. The aliens watched as Amy took pictures of the bear family. The mother bear knew Amy was there. Sometimes she would look right at the camera, but she didn't seem worried. The mother bear is not protecting her babies? Dizes asked. His scales were turning green with curiosity. She is protecting them, Vera said. But Amy is not acting like a threat. Amy is sitting still and quiet. She's not moving toward the babies. She's not making loud noises. The mother bear can see that Amy is not dangerous. In the video, one of the baby bears wandered closer to Amy. The mother bear made a soft sound. The baby bear went back to its mother. The mother bear just told her baby to come back, Jake said. Bears talk to each other with sounds and movements. Amy understands this language. The aliens watched as Amy spent 2 hours taking pictures. The bears played and ate berries. Sometimes they looked at Amy, but they were not afraid. When Amy was done, she quietly packed up her camera and left. This human spent 2 hours near baby bears and lived? Wisp asked. His voice sounded amazed. Amy has been doing this for 15 years, Vera said. She's taken thousands of pictures of bears. She's never been hurt. Jake showed them another video. This one was from a family camping trip. A father was teaching his 2 young children how to hang their food high in a tree. Bears have very good noses, the father explained to his kids. They can smell food from miles away. If we leave food where bears can get it, they might come to our campsite. The children helped their father put all their food in a special container. Then they used ropes to hang it high in a tree, far from their tent. If a bear can't get food from humans, it won't bother humans, the father said. That night, the family slept in their tent. A bear did come to their campsite. The aliens watched as the bear walked around, sniffing everything. It found the food hanging in the tree, but it couldn't reach it. After a few minutes, the bear left. The family never woke up. They never knew the bear was there. The bear was so close to the sleeping humans, Zek-7 said. His crystal body was now glowing blue with interest, but it didn't hurt them. The bear wasn't looking for humans, Jake said. It was looking for food. When it couldn't find any, it went away. Vera pulled up some numbers on the computer screen. Every year, about 4 million people visit places where grizzly bears live. Out of those 4 million people, usually only 1 or 2 get hurt by bears. That's a 99.99% survival rate, Isis said. His scales were bright green now. These numbers are incredible. It's because humans have learned the rules, Jake said. We know how to act around bears. We know how to store food. We know how to make noise on trails. We know what to do if we see a bear. Jake showed them one more video. This one was from a research station in Alaska. Scientists were studying wild bears by putting radio collars on them. The aliens watched as humans shot sleeping darts at bears, then approached them while they were unconscious. These humans are touching the bears, Wisp said. His gas cloud was swirling with excitement. The scientists are checking the bear's health, Vera said. They take blood samples. They measure the bear. They put a radio collar on it so they can track where it goes. In the video, the scientists worked quickly. They weighed the bear, checked its teeth, and took pictures. Then they gave the bear medicine to wake it up and stepped back. The bear woke up slowly. It looked around confused. Then it walked away into the forest. These humans are helping the bears, Isis said. His scales were now bright yellow with wonder. Yes, Jake said. By studying bears, we learn how to protect them. We learn where they like to live. We learn what they need to be healthy. We learn how to help them when they're sick or hurt. The aliens were quiet for a long time. They were thinking about everything they had seen. On our worlds, Zek-7 said slowly, when we find dangerous animals, we eliminate them or avoid them completely. But humans do neither. You study them, Isis said. You learn about them. You find ways to live with them. You even help them, Wisp added, even though they could kill you. Vera smiled. Bears are part of our world. They were here long before humans built cities. We think they have a right to be here too. Jake nodded. Tomorrow, I'll show you why bears are so important to humans. You'll understand why we work so hard to live with them. As the day ended, the 3 aliens had many new things to think about. They were beginning to see that humans didn't just survive with dangerous animals. Humans had found a way to live together that helped both species. This was something completely new to them. On the 3rd day, Jake met his alien friends in the ship's meeting room. Today, he had a special guest joining them through video call. Dr. Ryan Foster appeared on the big screen. He was an old man with white hair and kind eyes. Hello, everyone, Dr. Foster said. I've been studying bears for 40 years. I hear you have questions about how humans and bears live together. Zek-7 flashed blue with excitement. Dr. Foster, we don't understand. Your species could easily kill all the bears with your weapons. Why don't you? Dr. Foster smiled. That's a good question. Long ago, some humans tried to do exactly that. It didn't work out well for anyone. He showed them old pictures on his computer. The pictures showed empty forests and dead rivers. This is what happened when we killed all the wolves in Yellowstone Park, Dr. Foster said. Without wolves, there were too many deer. The deer ate all the plants. Without plants, the soil washed away. The rivers changed shape. Many other animals died. Tices. Scales turned orange with interest. Removing one species damaged the entire environment? Exactly, Dr. Foster said. We learned that every animal has a job in nature. Bears have important jobs too. They spread seeds when they eat berries. They dig up roots and mix the soil. They even help salmon swim upstream by catching some and leaving others. Wisp swirled closer to the screen. But bears are dangerous. How do humans decide the benefits are worth the risk? Dr. Foster laughed. Let me tell you about my grandmother. She was born in Alaska in 1920. Her family lived in a small cabin in the woods. Bears came to their yard every day. He showed them an old black and white photo. It showed a small wooden house with a woman standing outside. Behind her, a large bear was eating berries from a bush. That's my grandmother and a bear in her backyard, Dr. Foster said. She lived with bears for 70 years. She was never hurt by one. How did she stay safe? Zek 7 asked. She learned bear language, Dr. Foster said. Not words like we're using now. Body language and sounds. She knew when a bear was happy, angry, scared, or curious. She knew how to act around different kinds of bears. Jake leaned forward. Tell them about the mother bear and her babies. Dr. Foster nodded. Every spring, a mother bear brought her babies to eat berries in my grandmother's yard. My grandmother would watch them from her window. She never went outside when the babies were there. Why not? Thizes asked. Mother bears are very protective. Dr. Foster said, if they think their babies are in danger, they will attack. So my grandmother gave them space. She let them eat the berries and play. After a few hours, they would leave. He showed them another picture. This one was in color. It showed the same yard, but now there were 3 baby bears rolling around like puppies while their mother watched. This went on for 3 years, Dr. Foster said. The same mother bear brought her babies to the same yard every spring. She trusted my grandmother enough to bring her most precious things there. Vera joined the conversation. Dr. Foster, can you explain why modern humans continue this tradition of coexistence? Well, Dr. Foster said, we've learned that bears make our world better. Places with healthy bear populations have cleaner air and water. They have more types of plants and animals. They're more beautiful and peaceful. He showed them videos of tourists taking pictures of bears. Families were smiling and pointing. Children were laughing with joy. Millions of people travel thousands of miles just to see bears, Dr. Foster said. This brings money to small towns. It gives people jobs. It helps pay for protecting wild places. Wisp made a sound like wind through trees. So bears have economic value to humans? Yes, but it's more than that, Dr. Foster said. Bears make us feel connected to nature. When you see a wild bear, you remember that you're part of something bigger than yourself. Jake had been quiet, but now he spoke up. Dr. Foster, tell them about the time you helped rescue a bear. Dr. Foster's eyes lit up. Oh, that was an adventure. We got a call about a young bear that had gotten into trouble. He had broken into a cabin and couldn't get out. The owners were scared, and the bear was scared too. What did you do? Zek 7 asked. We opened all the doors and windows, Dr. Foster said. Then we made noise from far away to encourage the bear to leave. We didn't hurt him or punish him. We just helped him get back to the forest where he belonged. The bear didn't attack you? Dizes asked. He was too busy trying to escape, Dr. Foster said. Most bears don't want to fight humans. They just want to be left alone to live their lives. Vera pulled up some new information on her computer. Dr. Foster, can you explain the modern bear management programs? Sure, Dr. Foster said. When bears and humans have problems, we don't automatically kill the bear. First, we try to figure out why the problem happened. Usually, it's because the bear found food that humans left out. He showed them pictures of special garbage cans that bears couldn't open. Then he showed them electric fences that kept bears away from beehives and gardens. We help humans learn how to live with bears, Dr. Foster said. We teach them to lock up garbage, clean their grills, and not leave pet food outside. Most problems can be solved this way. But what if a bear keeps causing problems? Wisp asked. Then we relocate the bear, Dr. Foster said. We put it to sleep with a dart gun. Then we move it to a new area far from humans. We give it a second chance. He showed them a video of a sleeping bear being loaded onto a truck. The bear was wearing a radio collar. We track the bear to make sure it stays in its new home, Dr. Foster said. Most bears do fine after being moved. They learn to avoid humans. ZEC7 flashed bright blue. You give dangerous animals second chances? We give them many chances, Dr. Foster said. We only kill a bear if it keeps attacking people after we've tried everything else. This happens very rarely. Jake smiled at his alien friends. Do you see the pattern here? Humans don't just survive with bears. We've built a whole system that helps both species. Tice's scales turned bright green. You modify human behavior to accommodate bears. You modify the environment to protect both species. You even relocate problem bears instead of eliminating them. That's right, Dr. Foster said. And you know what? It works. Bear populations are growing in many places. Human-bear conflicts are decreasing. More people than ever are enjoying wild places safely. Vera showed them a map of North America. Green areas showed where bears lived now. Blue areas showed where humans lived. Look how much overlap there is, Vera said. Millions of humans and thousands of bears share the same areas. Most of the time, they never even see each other. This is remarkable, Wisp said. His gas cloud was glowing with excitement. Two apex species sharing territory through intelligence and cooperation rather than conflict. Dr. Foster nodded. Bears are intelligent. Humans are intelligent. When intelligent species meet, they can choose cooperation over conflict. But it takes work and understanding from both sides. How do you teach this to young humans? ZEC7 asked. We start early, Dr. Foster said. Children learn about bears in school. They learn the rules for staying safe. They learn why bears are important. By the time they're adults, living with bears seems normal. Jake looked at his alien friends. Tomorrow, I'll show you how this same approach works with other dangerous animals. Humans coexist with predators all over the world. As Dr. Foster said goodbye, the aliens sat quietly thinking. They were beginning to understand that human survival wasn't just about being tough or smart. It was about finding ways to share the world with other species. This coexistence philosophy, Liza said slowly, it's not just about bears, is it? Jake smiled. No, it's not. It's about how we approach any species that could be dangerous, even alien species. The three aliens looked at each other with new understanding. They were starting to see why humans had approached first contact with friendship instead of fear. On the fourth day, Jake had another surprise for his alien friends. He brought them to the ship's virtual reality room. The walls could show any place on Earth as if they were really there. Today, you're going to experience what it's like to be a human in bear country, Jake said. You'll see through the eyes of Bobby Clark. He's a wilderness guide who takes people camping and hiking where bears live. The aliens looked nervous. ZEC7 turned pale blue. Tice's scales went yellow. Wisp's gas cloud swirled slowly. Don't worry, Vera said. You'll be perfectly safe. This is just a recording of Bobby's memories. The room changed around them. Suddenly, they were standing in a beautiful forest. Tall trees reached up to the sky. A clear stream ran nearby. Birds were singing. The air smelled fresh and clean. "This is incredible," Zek7 said. His crystal body was now glowing with wonder. Through Bobby's eyes, they could see a group of 6 humans. There was an older couple, a family with 2 teenagers, and a young woman with a big camera. They all had backpacks and hiking boots. "Good morning, everyone," Bobby said. The aliens could hear his voice as if he was right next to them. "Today, we're going to hike through some of the most beautiful country in Alaska. This is also home to about 200 grizzly bears." The tourists looked excited, not scared. The teenagers were taking pictures. The older couple was pointing at different plants and birds. "No, we're going to see bears today," Bobby continued. "That's almost certain. But remember what we talked about last night. We make noise as we walk. We stay together as a group. We don't run toward bears or away from them." As they started hiking, Bobby began singing a song. The tourists joined in. Their voices echoed through the forest. "Why are they making so much noise?" Isis asked. His scales were shifting between yellow and green. "So the bears can hear them coming," Jake explained. "Remember what you learned yesterday. Bears don't like surprises." They walked for 2 hours through beautiful wilderness. The aliens saw through Bobby's eyes as he pointed out different plants and animal tracks. He showed them where bears had rubbed against trees and where they had dug for roots. "Look at this," Bobby said, kneeling down. In the soft mud beside the stream, there was a huge paw print. "This is from a big male bear. He was here this morning, probably drinking water." The tourists gathered around to look at the print. It was bigger than a human hand. "He's probably watching us right now," Bobby said calmly. "Bears are curious about people. But as long as we don't surprise him or threaten him, he'll leave us alone." Suddenly, Bobby stopped walking. He held up his hand for silence. About 50 yards ahead, a large brown shape was moving through the trees. "There he is," Bobby whispered. "Everyone stay calm. Don't make any sudden movements." The bear was huge. Even from a distance, the aliens could see how powerful it was. The bear looked at the group of humans. The humans looked back at the bear. "Hey, bear," Bobby called out in a calm, loud voice. "We're just passing through. We don't want any trouble." The bear tilted its head as if listening. Then it made a huffing sound and walked away into the thick forest. "That was amazing," the young woman with the camera said. "I got some great pictures." "That's how most bear encounters go," Bobby said. "The bear sees us, we see the bear, and then we both go our separate ways." The virtual reality continued. Over the next few hours, they saw 3 more bears. Each time, the same thing happened. Bobby would spot the bear first. He would alert the group. They would all stay calm and give the bear plenty of space. The bear would look at them and then leave. "Bobby seems to know where the bears are before anyone else sees them," Zek7 observed. "That's experience," Vera said. "Bobby has been doing this for 20 years. He knows how to read the signs. He knows where bears like to go and when they like to be there." In the evening, they watched Bobby set up camp. He showed the tourists how to hang their food high in trees. He explained how to keep their sleeping area clean. He taught them what to do if a bear came to their campsite at night. "The most important thing," Bobby said, "is to never leave food where bears can get it. A fed bear is a dead bear." "What does that mean?" the older man asked. "If a bear learns that it can get food from humans, it will keep coming back," Bobby explained. "Eventually, it will become dangerous. Then wildlife managers will have to kill it. We don't want that to happen." That night, the aliens watched as the group slept peacefully in their tents. Around midnight, Bobby woke up. He had heard something outside dot very quietly, Bobby looked out of his tent. A young bear was walking through their campsite. It was sniffing everything, looking for food. But all the food was hanging safely in trees. Bobby didn't wake the others. He just watched as the bear searched for a few minutes. When it couldn't find anything, the bear left. He protected the sleeping humans without them even knowing, Wisp said. His voice was full of amazement. The next morning, Bobby told the group about their nighttime visitor. Instead of being scared, the tourists were excited. I wish I could have seen it, one of the teenagers said. Maybe tonight, Bobby said with a smile. The virtual reality experience continued for 3 more days. The aliens watched as the group hiked through bear country, took pictures, fished in streams, and enjoyed the wilderness. They saw several more bears, including a mother with 2 cubs. The mother bear is so protective, Isa said, watching as the mother bear kept herself between her babies and the humans. But she's not attacking, Zach 7 noted. She's just being careful. Bobby is being careful too, Vera pointed out. Look how he's keeping the group far away from the cubs. On the last day, something special happened. The group was eating lunch beside a lake when a large bear came down to the water to drink. The bear was only 30 feet away. Nobody move, Bobby whispered. Just enjoy this moment. For 20 minutes, the bear drank water and caught fish. The humans sat quietly and watched. The bear knew they were there, but it didn't seem to care. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, the young woman said quietly. When the bear finally left, the whole group was smiling. They had shared space with a wild grizzly bear, and everyone was safe. How does Bobby do this? Zek 7 asked as the virtual reality ended. How does he keep people safe around such dangerous animals? Bobby understands bears, Jake said. He knows how they think. He knows how they act. He can predict what they'll do. But more than that, Vera added, Bobby respects the bears. He doesn't see them as enemies to be fought. He sees them as neighbors to be respected. Jake brought up a new video. This one showed Bobby teaching a class of young people who wanted to be wilderness guides. The most important thing, Bobby was saying, is to remember that we're visitors in bear country. This is their home. We need to act like good guests. What makes a good guest? One of the students asked. You're quiet and respectful, Bobby sighed. You don't make a mess. You don't take things that don't belong to you. You don't disturb your hosts. And you always say thank you. How do you say thank you to a bear? Another student asked. Bobby smiled. By protecting their home. By teaching other humans to respect them. By making sure they have a safe place to live for many years to come. Tice's scales turned bright green. This human teaches others to continue. The coexistence. That's right, Jake said. Bobby has taught hundreds of people how to live safely with bears. Those people teach others. The knowledge spreads. But what about bears? Wisp asked. Do they teach their young about humans? Yes, they do, Vera said. Mother bears teach their cubs which areas are safe and which areas have humans. Cubs learn by watching their mothers. If a mother bear is calm around humans, her cubs will be calm too. The aliens were quiet for a long time. They were thinking about everything they had experienced. Both species are teaching their young how to coexist, Zek 7 said finally. This is a learned behavior that passes from generation to generation. It's more than that, Jake said. It's becoming part of both species' culture. Humans teach respect for bears. Bears teach caution around humans. Both species are evolving. Together, Vera showed them one final video. This one was from a research station where scientists studied bear behavior. Dr. Helen Carter appeared on screen. She was a veterinarian who took care of sick and injured bears. Sometimes bears get hurt, Dr. Helen said. They might get hit by cars or caught in old traps. When that happens, we help them. The video showed Dr. Helen and her team working on a sedated bear. The bear had a cut on its leg from an old piece of barbed wire. The team cleaned the wound and bandaged it carefully. This bear could easily kill any of us, Dr. Helen said as she worked, but we're here to help him. When he wakes up, he'll be healthy again. The aliens watched as the team gave the bear medicine to wake up. The bear opened its eyes slowly. It looked around, confused. Then it stood up and walked back into the forest. These humans risk their lives to heal bears, Wisp said. His gas cloud was glowing with wonder. That's what neighbors do, Jake said. They help each other when there's trouble. Tice's scales were now bright gold. This coexistence has become something deeper. It's not just avoiding conflict. It's active cooperation. You're beginning to understand, Vera said with a smile. Tomorrow, Jake will show you how this same approach works throughout human society. Bears are just one example. As the day ended, the three aliens had much to fin. On the fifth and final day, Jake brought his alien friends to the ship's main observation deck. Earth was spinning slowly below them, blue and green and beautiful. The three aliens had changed over the past few days. Zek 7 was glowing with warm, golden light. Tice's scales were bright green and blue. Wisp's gas cloud was calm and peaceful. You've learned about humans and bears, Jake said. Now I want to show you the bigger picture. Vera joined them with a holographic display. It showed different animals from around the world. There were sharks swimming in the ocean, wolves running through forests, and eagles flying through the sky. Bears aren't the only dangerous animals that humans live with, Vera said. All over Earth, humans share space with predators that could kill them. The display showed people swimming with sharks. The aliens watched as humans dove into the ocean, wearing only masks and fins. Huge sharks swam all around them. Those sharks could bite a human in half, Nyza said. His scales flickered with worry. But they don't, Jake said. Sharks usually ignore humans. They're looking for fish and seals, not people. The divers know this. They stay calm and move slowly. The sharks see them as just another part of the ocean. The display changed to show people camping in Africa. Lions were walking through their campsite, but the people stayed in their tents, and the lions moved on. The same principles apply everywhere, Vera said. Understand the animal. Respect its space. Don't act like prey or a threat. Most predators will leave you alone. Zek 7 pulsed with understanding. Humans have learned to read the body language of many different species. More than that, Jake said. We've learned that most animals don't want to fight unless they have to. Fighting is dangerous for them too. They might get hurt. They might waste energy they need for finding food or raising babies. The display showed wolves in Yellowstone Park. Rangers were putting radio collars on them, just like they did with bears. When we brought wolves back to Yellowstone, some people were afraid, Vera said. They thought the wolves would attack hikers and campers. But in 25 years, there hasn't been a single wolf attack on a human in the park. Because humans and wolves follow the same rules as humans and bears, Wisp asked. Exactly, Jake said. Make noise so you don't surprise them. Give them space. Don't act aggressive. Store your food properly. Most of the time, you'll never even see a wolf. The display changed again. Now it showed something that amazed the aliens even more. It showed humans working to protect dangerous animals. This is a rehabilitation center for big cats, Vera said. Lions, tigers, leopards that were hurt or orphaned. Humans take care of them and try to return them to the wild. The aliens watched as veterinarians treated a wounded tiger. The tiger was asleep, but even unconscious, it looked incredibly powerful. These humans could be killed instantly if that tiger woke up. Thyses said. But they're saving its life, Jake said. Because they believe every species has value, even dangerous ones. The display showed more examples. Humans rescuing whales, tangled in fishing nets. Humans treating wounded eagles. Humans building bridges over highways so animals could cross safely. You don't just coexist with dangerous species, Zek7 said. You actively help them. We've learned that a world with many different species is a healthier, more beautiful world, Vera said. When we protect predators, we protect everything. Jake touched the display controls. Now it showed something completely different. It showed the first meeting between humans and Zek7's people. When your ship arrived at Earth, Jake said, you were more dangerous than any bear or shark or wolf. You had weapons that could destroy our cities. You had technology we couldn't understand. The aliens remembered that day. They had been so nervous about meeting humans. They had heard stories about aggressive, violent species that attacked first and asked questions later. But you didn't attack. You, Zek7 said, you invited us to talk. Because you're intelligent, Jake said. Just like bears and wolves and sharks, you didn't want to fight unless you had to. We could see that you were curious, not aggressive. Tice's scales turned thoughtful. Purple. You applied the same principles to first contact that you use with Earth predators. Make contact slowly, Jake said. Don't act threatening. Try to communicate. Look for signs of intelligence and intention. Give the other species a chance to. Show what they really want. Wisp swirled with excitement. This coexistence philosophy extends beyond your own planet. It has to, Vera said. We're going to meet many species as we explore the galaxy. Some of them might be dangerous. But we've learned that most conflicts can be avoided through understanding and respect. The display now showed the current mission of the new frontier. It was mapping star systems and looking for signs of intelligent life. When we find new species, Jake said, we'll approach them the same way we approach bears, carefully, respectfully, with an open mind. But what if you meet a species that really is aggressive? Zek7 asked. Then we'll protect ourselves, Jake said, just like we do with the very few bears that become dangerous. But we'll try every other option first. Vera pulled up statistics on the screen. In the past 50 years, humans have made contact with 12 intelligent species. Only one of those contacts led to conflict, and that was because of a misunderstanding that got cleared up later. 11 successful first contacts out of 12, Thyses said. His scales were bright with admiration. Those are incredible numbers. It's because we've learned that most species, even dangerous ones, can be reasoned with, Jake said. Intelligence usually comes with the ability to choose cooperation over conflict. The aliens looked at each other. Over the past 5 days, their understanding of humans had completely changed. We came here to study human survival techniques, Zek7 said. We thought you were just very good at fighting dangerous creatures. Instead, we discovered you're very good at not fighting them, Thyses added. You've turned coexistence into an art form, Wisp said. His voice was full of wonder. Jake smiled. And it works. Earth has more biodiversity than any planet we've studied. Humans are exploring the galaxy peacefully. We're making friends instead of enemies. Vera pointed to Earth below them. Look at it from up here. Millions of species living together. Bears and humans. Sharks and swimmers. Wolves and hikers. Aliens and humans. It's not perfect, Jake said. Sometimes there are conflicts. Sometimes things go wrong. But overall, it works. Better than any other system we've tried. The aliens spent a long time looking at Earth. They were thinking about their own worlds and their own species. This coexistence philosophy, Zek7 said finally, it could change how all species interact with each other. That's the idea, Jake said. Instead of the galaxy being full of conflicts between species, it could be full of cooperation. Imagine if every species approached first contact the way humans do, Isaac said. His scales were cycling through rainbow colors with excitement. Imagine if every species protected the dangerous creatures on their worlds instead of destroying them, Wisp added. The galaxy would be more diverse, more beautiful, and more peaceful. Vera said. As their time together ended, the three aliens began writing their report for the Galactic Council. But it wouldn't be the report they had planned to write. We're not going to write about human survival techniques, Zek7 said. We're going to write about human coexistence techniques, Nyza said. We're going to recommend that all species study how humans live with grizzly bears, Wisp said. Jake laughed. I never thought bears would become galactic diplomats. They already are, Vera said. They taught humans how to share space with dangerous species. Now humans are teaching the galaxy. As the new frontier prepared to continue its journey, the three aliens looked at Earth one last time. They were returning to their worlds with a new understanding of what was possible. On planets across the galaxy, the story of humans and Grizzly bears would be told. It would become a model for how intelligent species could choose cooperation over conflict. It would show that even the most dangerous encounters could end in friendship instead of violence. Thank you, Zek7 said to Jake and Vera. You've shown us a better way to live in the universe. Thank you, Jake replied. You've shown us that our way of living with bears really is special. We'll keep working to make it even better. As the ship sailed among the stars, Earth grew smaller behind them. But the lessons learned, they would spread throughout the galaxy. The simple story of humans learning to live with bears had become a blueprint for galactic civilization. And somewhere in the forests of Earth, grizzly bears continued to fish in streams, raise their cubs, and share their world with humans. They had no idea that their peaceful coexistence had become a symbol of hope for species across the universe.